Hello and welcome to the Meeples and Miniatures podcast Patreon video. My name is Neil Shuck. I'm the host and editor of the show. And as you can see, we cheated. So whilst Patreon asked us to post a video, we actually posted just an audio video because we produce a podcast for a reason. Me and my fellow podcast hosts have faces made for radio. So what is the Meeples and Miniatures podcast? Well, myself and fellow co-hosts Mike Hobbs, Mike Whitaker and Dave Luff get together to produce a regular podcast about tabletop miniature wargaming and also about board games that involve either miniatures or have some form of wargame theme. Our aim is to help to publicise all the independent producers of wargames, miniatures, scenery and other accessories out there that you may not otherwise hear about. If you're into this hobby, you know all about Games Workshop, Privateer Press, Battlefront and Fantasy Flight Games. But you may not know about all the other guys out there in the hobby. The tabletop gaming hobby is huge, and it's a hobby that I've been into for over 30 years, which is why I started this podcast, in order to help promote all those other games that are out there. And believe me, there is a lot of good stuff being produced by independent games companies in this day and age. So that's what we do. And over a couple of years now, I've been encouraged by several listeners to look at using Patreon in order to help listeners to support the show should they wish to. So this is what we've done. We're finally here. So what we've decided to do is put together a Patreon package that will give you as much flexibility as possible. So first off, we decided that best flexibility was to have a support setup that only rewarded us when we produce something for you. And as a result of that, we've also set up a number of different supporting levels. So you can choose at what level you wish to support us. But on top of that, you also must remember that if we produce multiple shows a month, you can control your support. So you only ever give to us what's in your budget per month. So for example, you may choose to back us for $3 a show, but you don't want to spend more than $10 a month. Your support can be tailored to do that. So you are always in control of how much or how little you want to support us. Now, first and foremost, the podcast will always be free. And what Patreon is doing is simply giving listeners who wish to the ability to help support us. And I do want to stress, there is no obligation in any way on you to support us. But if you want to, think of this as a virtual tip jar, if you like. Well, what are we going to use it for? Okay, well, first off, we're looking at upgrading recording and editing software, look at new hardware for recording outside broadcasts and stuff like that. It helps towards our regular hosting fees for both running the podcast and the website. Anything on top of that, it will help us do more things. The bottom line is, anything that you want to give to us, we will plough into making this podcast the best that we possibly can. So, thanks for listening. I hope you continue to enjoy the Meeples and Miniatures podcast.